Nope. Yep, I just had to check, and yeah, we're still losing the Iran war. During the ceasefire that's not a ceasefire, and the war that we've already won many times over, and in the middle of it all, Iran has launched a new federal agency which will make them billions of dollars, while we're all needing small loans just to drive around town. Oh, and in case you're curious, yes, Donald Trump is raking in big bucks too, but I want to focus on Iran and their new agency called the Persian Gulf Strait Authority, the PGSA. They even have an official Twitter account asking for followers. But what does this agency do? What does it mean? Well, the very existence of this agency is a slap in the face of the Trump regime's war of distraction from the Epstein files. And you'll remember that the old tariff sheriff launched Operation Epic Fury, against Iran. And one of the many ever-changing BS reasons that Trump gives for this whole thing was that Iran is not allowed to control international waters. Iran is not allowed to charge tolls. Iran is not allowed to dictate who passes through the Strait of Hormuz, the choke point where 20% of the world's oil flows through. By the way, in case you forgot, the Strait of Hormuz was open before we started bombing. Just gonna throw that out there. And now, 3 months later, Iran has a federal agency that they've started to manage the strait. They've got a permit system. You have to send them an email and they'll send you this spreadsheet form to fill out. The reports say that it's like 40 questions. You got ownership, insurance, crew manifest, cargo, routing, the standard stuff for shipping. You fill out the spreadsheet, you email it back, and then the Islamic Revolutionary Guard radios you and just walks you through. And then you pay. And how much do you pay? Up to $2 million per ship, per transit. And you can pay that in Chinese yuan, or if you want to feel especially modern about your protection racket experience, you can pay it in Bitcoin to wallets linked to the Iranian government. JP Morgan estimates that if the regime in Iran stays operational, their government will pull in $70 to $90 billion a year out of this. A year, forever. And that is the deal that Taco Trump is making. We bombed Iran, and they've just sent us a recurring invoice in the war that we totally already won. And Iran, they're setting rules here. Israeli vessels can't go through. American vessels face, quote, severe restrictions or outright refusal. India, China, Russia, Pakistan, Iraq, those guys, they can go through. Iran is doing the thing that authoritarian regimes do when they win, and that is using a public utility to reward loyalty and punish their enemies. It's what Trump's doing here. Meanwhile, Trump is on Truth Social, because that's where sane leaders communicate official business to the world, says we're having very good and productive conversations with Iran. Productive. Yeah, productive for them. They went from zero income from the strait to a permanent revenue stream. And the Taco Jocko's response, of course, is to threaten more military action. Military action, by the way, that Congress has finally voted on the War Powers Resolution that will hopefully limit Donald Trump's actions in Iran. It remains to be seen if he actually follows that guidance. But an American source told Al Jazeera that Trump's patience has begun to run out and Iran has days, not weeks, before he goes back to bombing. By the way, again, for the record, Donald Trump said that the strait would be unblocked in 24 hours when he gave the order last February. We're now on what, day 80 plus of this 24-hour war? And the kicker, the part that I think nobody's connecting yet, is that this war is funding Trump's stock account. It's the war of profit. His accounts dump tech and bought defense and oil right before he posts on Truth Social. And I'll get to that in another story. But yeah, Donald Trump started a war and lost. He lost on pretty much every objective that the war was supposed to achieve. But fortunately for him, he bought oil stocks before he posted the deals. He sold stocks in Microsoft and Nvidia before he killed the market. And now Iran has a new federal agency with a Twitter account asking for followers, where they will collect $2 million per ship. There is zero versions of this story where the United States comes out ahead. There is no scenario where the Persian Gulf Strait Authority gets dissolved peacefully because we worded our next ceasefire really, really carefully. Iran has built a permanent institution. Permanent. And the man, Donald Trump, who told us that he could end the war in day one, is counting his cash as this war drags on. And by the way, the Office of Foreign Assets Control, they already warned that any American or foreign person who pays that toll could face American sanctions. So now we've created an environment where if you want to ship oil through the most critical waterway on Earth, you have to choose between sanctions from us or seizure from Iran. So much winning. So much winning. Do me a favor, drop me a comment. Tell me that if you see any way we can pull out a win in this Iran war.